2. Hello. We are back here with Gamebound Monsterhearts. That makes it sound like it's one thing. We're doing Gamebound series where we do a bunch of different games. And today on the docket is another session of Monsterhearts, the game about hormonal teenage monsters and making mistakes, having fun, rejecting people, walking through walls, getting your blood sucked.
There's no fun in life. For Gree.
Well, for Gree, yeah. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it, shall we? I think we start this session with a DM's an audience scene, right? So if this is a TV show, we see the opening sequence or the opening scene of the show is, the halls of the. Oh, wait a second. It was Sunday, and then you guys were going to do stuff on Sunday, right? Right,
Isn't
like over the
still...
weekend?
It was still Friday when we left.
Oh, yeah, it's Saturday. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I thought that Zaft had a funeral to go to or something.
Yeah, there's stuff to happen over the weekend. I kind of forgot what date it was.
Wait, I have a funeral? What?
Yeah.
Your mom mentioned a funeral that you guys had to go to on Saturday. Your aunt's funeral, something like that? I don't know.
Sure.
It may not be important, but she mentioned it.
It's not even necessarily we have to play it out. It's just a thing that I said. But
I mean,
it is
there's
true.
Blood at funerals.
Well, it's not living though.
Oh, I meant the other people.
Oh, well.
That's fair. So
who's gonna notice another body?
I have to re-envision this scene. You know what? Maybe I think we'll get that scene later then because it's not actually relevant for right now. So we start off with our opening sequence, the anime intro of Monsterhearts, and I mean, there's a lot of places we could start. Zaf was gonna get what's his face? Todd was gonna get Todd a date with be able to go to. Zaf was going to convince Amy to go to homecoming with Todd.
Well, I was going to find out information for him to coordinate with Amy. For
right.
Spirit Week.
That's what it was. Yeah. I knew you were going to help him. I didn't remember exactly what was going to go down. Okay.
But it's probably going to end up being in a way where I ask her and she tells me and she thinks I want to know for me.
Yeah.
And it's really not for me.
Mm-hmm. There'll definitely be some teenage miscommunication going on that scene, I'm sure. Let's see. Iceland just witnessed a strange encounter between Mr. Pearson and Miss Quinn. So that's a thing. And Gree was running away from the authorities after being framed for a murder that Zaf committed.
I was running away from the authorities. I was running away from what's his face's dad, Ben's dad.
Right, but you're also running away from the authorities.
Technically true, yes.
And so you
ran. He paid the bail. Technically, they can't hold him.
I guess that's technically true. Yeah. Don't leave town though, Gree. Anyway, so Gree ran headlong into Miss Quinn as well, and Miss Quinn was basically like, "Aha, I'll keep you safe. Yes, come with me." What do y'all want to start off with? Like, obviously, Gree and Iceland don't. Whoa, where's the echo coming from? That was weird. I just heard myself very loudly. Iceland and Gree have stuff going on with their characters, but there's not an immediate thing to immediately go to. So we could go to Zaf, or if you guys have an idea.
The only thing I had in mind was Monday morning, first thing is I would talk to Gree and be like, "You need to watch out."
Right. And that's what I'm thinking too. I feel like there's not a whole lot that's going to happen over the weekend for you two.
What happened to Gree? What happened after Miss Quinn took him?
You're obviously staying in Miss Quinn's house,
and nothing happens.
Not anything she's protecting you.
She's going to protect you, kind of, for now.
There's going to be stuff that happens with that, when you have to go back to school, right? She's going to have to make sure that people don't find out or whatever. But over the weekend, it's just all right, stay in my creepy, old house.
Okay, here's my question though. Then, can I look around in her house? Because I'm trying to I'm stuck here. I want to figure out who this lady is who apparently knows who
Right.
I am.
Okay, yeah. So let's have the first scene be Gree like wakes up on Saturday morning, right? And we just hear. I'm trying to decide if Miss Quinn actually does have like a creepy old house, or is she like really modern and chic?
I think she's really modern and chic, but her basement is super duper creepy.
Okay. So
don't want to stick out.
Yeah, let's say this is like a pretty new house. It's very nice. Nothing's out of the ordinary with Miss Quinn, right? It's not obvious that she lives in this creepy old house or whatever. That would probably be a little weird. But yeah, her house is really nice. It smells nice. It probably creeps you out more that it's so normal and nice, right? Than more than anything.
I would.
And you don't know Miss Quinn is a vampire, yeah?
I don't think I do.
Like Iceland knows, and obviously Zaf knows, but I don't think Gree knows. Okay, cool.
And the janitor knows.
That's true. Yes, the janitor also knows. The crazy janitor who will never be believed. We could call him. Oh crap! What's that? Cassandra. Yeah, that's his nickname, Cassandra, from that one Greek myth. Where this girl like got cursed to no one would ever believe her anything she said. Anyway, that guy's name is Greg McDaniel. So yeah, Greg, you wake up on Saturday morning, and you hear probably the TV's on. Some news broadcast is going, right? Someone's telling us the weather of the upcoming weekend, and it will be sunny tomorrow with it could be partly cloudy. We're still unsure as to where the clouds motion here, and he's just describing this storm that might just pass by, and you hear a fan going, like like a ceiling fan. Everything's really peaceful, and you just kind of are engulfed in this like normal ambiance, and it probably creeps you out.
I hate normal. I actually don't have a condition. Okay. I was going to say I am blank, but I don't have a condition, so it doesn't matter.
You're normal. Sorry, Gree.
Okay, well, I'll just kind of like, I probably wake up and it's probably some like pink frilly guest room that has like all this
I don't think
happiness
it's like
and joy.
Super girly necessarily. I think it's just normal, right? Like it's just so it's nice looking, but maybe not frilly. I don't know if think is a word that would ever describe Quinn. So it's very neat. Orderly.
Either way,
yeah.
Gree still doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So he's gonna kind of get up and he's kind of look around, see if he can see anything. Like he's just gonna kind of get up and like maybe try not to get Miss Quinn's attention and peek around, try and see where the heck I actually am, because this just doesn't seem right for everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Especially if she knows who he is.
Yeah, and this is like the sort of situation where, like, I mean, you as a teenage guy, obviously you're like a very strange teenage guy, but like as a teenage guy, you just have this like probably visceral feeling of like, if I touch anything, I'm gonna get in trouble, right? That's the kind of vibe that this whole house is giving off to you. So I think we should roll a move that we haven't rolled yet. And I've been looking for an opportunity to roll this move. And actually I need to pop open the Monsterhearts manual quick. I should have had this open already, but of course I did not.
Yeah.
Let's find the Monsterhearts reference. There we go. Perfect. Keep your cool, right? We're gonna roll keep your cool. When you keep your cool and act despite fear, name what you're afraid of and roll with cold. And I mean, the thing here is like whether or not Gree's like actually like legitimately terrified or whatever. There's an anxiety to touching anything in this room. If you want to find out something about Miss Quinn, you know that if something's out of place, she's gonna know, right? So that's like the general tension of the keeping your cool here. So you're gonna roll with cold.
That's not great, and I do not have any forwards, so... Right, because I got a partial success last time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here goes nothing. To Sneak around.
Eight's
Partial
not bad.
success.
On a 7 and 9, the
It's a
MC
partial
will
success, though.
yeah, the MC will tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and you can choose to back down or go through with it. Let's see. So I think if you do this,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so normally on like you ask the MC a question about the situation and take one forward to act on the information. You'll still ask me the question if you decide to go through with it. The way that would leave you vulnerable, yeah, I think it's a partial success in this instance. Obviously, is you can ask the question, but she will notice that you moved something.
So it's either ask a question or not get found out.
Yes.
See, I wasn't expecting to have to ask a question. I was expecting just to like
You
do
just
something.
it's like what you want to know, right? Because you're obviously looking around at her stuff. So it's just you'd ask me a question about like that the stuff in this room could reveal to you. Like
See, I'm trying to think of something.
You know,
I'm trying to think of something that asks.
What's Quinn's motivation for taking me in? You know, that's you could just ask.
I think she kind of already gave me a little bit of that last time because she doesn't want.
Yeah, she
him
was
to
like,
get me.
yeah, she was like, I'm using you for leverage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll just go with this. How does Miss Quinn know who I am?
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Let's go with the easiest.
Okay.
Kind of something to move the plot forward.
Yeah. So you obviously like are moving stuff around to like find out this piece of information. So I guess you probably, because she was talking the other like that last night. She was talking to Mr. Pearson about like getting the files on the other members of the program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did we say if she had a file on you already? I don't think she did.
Well, I'm guessing that file was the file that I left with the one dude.
I mean, I'm sure there's multiple copies of this file, but I'm thinking you find your file again, right? In between some books, you know. And so obviously that night after they had that conversation, he because he had it on him, right? So he just gave her the file and was like, "Okay, here. Well, you can learn about you can read up about him, but I'll get you the other stuff later." And so she obviously like when you got home, it's not. I don't know. Like I think Gree, you're wondering yourself like why this would be left out. Like it's almost like she wanted you to find it. Like she doesn't seem like the kind of person who would accidentally leave something like this around.
Maybe also it's not all the files. Like I can recognize like this isn't all that was there last night with him, with that one guy.
Yeah.
It's like she's holding out on me.
Yeah. So she wanted you to know that she knows who you are by leaving this here.
Oh. So now I can realize she has some connection to what was his name again?
Mr. Pearson.
The one guy, Ben's dad? Mr. Pearson.
Yeah, his first name's Eric, but yeah, Mr. Pearson.
I'm gonna put him as a string with 0, so I remember his name.
Good plan. But yeah, so I mean, I think you're looking at the file, and it's just like the first page, right? That like lists the basics of everything about you, but doesn't actually give any detailed information.
Nothing I didn't already know.
Exactly, right. Where like it showed you how you went through these tests, but it doesn't actually give you any detailed information on what those meant. Those are on the next pages. But obviously, what happens is she catches you in the middle of looking at it, right? She steps into the room. I think actually what first happens is we get the jump scare of like, you know, the music is, you know, very slightly tension building, the soundtrack, and then we get the jump scare moment, but there's like a cat, right, that like is suddenly looking at you, like pops up on the end table that you were like right next to, scares you for a second, and you're like, oh, okay, it's just a cat, and then you turn, and then Miss Quinn is like in the threshold of this like sitting room that you've been sleeping on the couch, you know, in this sitting room or whatever, and she just says, how would she say this? I don't think she says anything. She just like gives you a look, like, we know, we're on the same page now.
Who are you?
The better question, Gree, is who are you?
He kind of just takes the papers. He kind of just takes a folder in his hand. It's like, that's what I was hoping to find out, and throws it on the ground.
Yeah.
Just like the few papers in there scatter around.
Yeah. And she, now, Gree, that sort of impatience isn't going to get you anywhere. Now, I could just go ahead and tell you everything that I know about you, but how would that benefit me? And she walks into the room and like sits on this like lounge chair, and she just looks at you and kind of like crosses her legs, all primly, and looks up at you and then says, "Sit down, Gree. Let's have a conversation."
Gray rolls his eyes and sits back down where he was sleeping earlier.
Yeah. And the cat like jumps onto her lap and she starts petting it. And it's like a calico cat. And she looks over at you and says, "Well, given that you've read that page of the file, you know at least 3 things. 1, you're not a normal teenager. 2, you're part of something called the program. And 3, Mr. Pearson is the one who started all of this." Now, I can answer more of your questions.
Last night.
Yeah.
I knew all that as of last night.
Yeah. She raises an eyebrow and then says, "Ah, so Mr. Pearson did have a conversation with you then?"
Yeah. Bailed me out of jail for something I didn't do.
Well, that's good for you. And she says, "Now, I can answer your questions, but I need to ask something of you, Gree. I need to know what Mr. Pearson is doing. I need to know what the program is, and I need to know how it will interfere with my plans. And so, what I want from you is very simple. I want to use you, 1, as leverage to continue getting information from Mr. Pearson, from Eric, and 2, once I get the clearance I need, we're going to go visit the power plant ourselves and have a little tour of the place. You're my golden ticket to getting in."
You want him to not interfere with your plans. What are your plans?
My plans have been in motion for about 100 years now. And that's all she says.
100 years? I thought you were...
She raises an eyebrow dangerously. Like, what were you about to say? How old do you think I am, Gree?
I only thought you were 75.
Exactly.
It just says younger after she raises her eyebrow.
Purses her lips. And she says, "Now, I can get all of this from you without actually answering any of your questions. If I'm going to give you information, I need more. What can you tell me, Gree? What can you do for me beyond what I can already force you to do?"
First thing that popped in my head is, what can you give me? But the first thing that popped in my head was, did you know the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell? She probably knows that. What can I give her? I don't know. Gree doesn't have anything. Actually, honestly, he probably says that. He says, "I have nothing." Unless, I guess, Mr. Pearson's son seems to think I'm his friend.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why that happened at all. Like, honestly, he has no clue how that happened.
So she says, "Tell me more about that. How close are you? Or at least how close does he think you are?"
He invited me over yesterday. Went to his friend Noah's house.
And what
Then he
happened when
ratted
you were
me
at
out,
Noah's
sent
house?
his dad my direction.
Oh.
I
So you're not
Yeah,
actually
like, he ratted
friends,
me out.
Gree.
No. I said he thinks we're friends.
I don't even think that's true. If he ratted you out, you're giving me nothing, Gree. Let's go back to this
I do have
emptiness. Let's go back to this emptiness that you're referring to. Now, I was told by Pearson that there was memory loss involved. Tell me more about that. What's the first thing you remember, Gree?
I can't. I lost my memory. The first thing I remember, I'm just gonna make some up. Tell me if this works, Caleb.
Mhm.
The first thing I remember is walking into the school. It's probably the only reason he went, because like I'm here apparently, and someone probably like he tried to leave, and someone was like, no, back to class, back to class.
Right. You just like first thing you remember, you were in the school, wandering the halls.
Mhm.
Yeah. And she said, "Do you know what day that was?" Obviously, you didn't when you were wandering the school, but did you find out? We said it was like a month ago, right?
Yeah, it's about a month ago.
Okay, interesting. And she grabs her phone out and like does like a Google search or something, like tries to figure out something. And she said, "Did it happen to be September 8th?"
I guess. Maybe. It's hard to remember when you have no point of reference.
Yeah, and
I
she
barely know what today is.
goes and like holds up her phone to you, and it says like, let's see, what would the headline for this be? Like, hiccup at the power plant.
Taco sale this week.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh no, not that." The stupid ads.
Wrong headline.
Yeah, but no, it says like, hiccup at the power plant, September in the power September 8th or whatever. Some version of that, right? Whatever the actual headline would be. There's something that was sort of unclear. Was like, oh, there was some sort of power surge or whatever. Like something went wrong. There's like an anomaly on September 8th.
Mm-hmm. I was the anomaly.
I mean, yes.
He just kind of thinks it's like, huh. I don't remember this, so that must mean it happened before my memory.
That seems to line up with what I know. Let's do something, Gree. Let's try to jog something.
The hokey pokey.
And she, let's see, she grabs out some. No, she probably just again pulls it up on her phone. She goes to like her phone's photo gallery and like pops up some photos, and they're like photos of some sort of like really sterile like white hallways, sterile white rooms, or like a little sterile white room with some bunk beds in it. Like basically, this is probably where the program is. And she shows you like this. And do you want to gaze into the abyss for me? See if you can remember anything.
I was gonna say that's rolling for dark, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't think I have. No, I don't. I need a condition. Dang it. To remember.
Okay.
Partial success.
The abyss shows you confusing and alarming visions, but you get your answer nonetheless. So it definitely jogs something.
That sounds
right?
about right.
Yeah. You get this like horrible flash of just like maybe let's say like a scalpel. This image of just a hand with a scalpel, a mirror and your own reflection in the mirror, but you're let's see, but there's something like wrong about your face. I'm trying to think of what that would be. Like your nose is bleeding as you look into the mirror. Yeah. And then I think the other flash you get is a blonde girl, like a probably 15 years old, in a like white patient's outfit, right? Patient's gown. And she is crying in like the corner of this room, like where the bunk beds are, and you're like reaching out to her, and then that's it.
Probably as like, and as the vision, as like the memories of her, I just kind of like put my hands on my head and like slap the phone out of trying to like slap it out of her face and out of my, like out of her hand and like out of my face.
And
I was like,
you obviously
I don't
remembered
know what
something.
that was, but I didn't. I didn't like it.
Well, we can try this again tomorrow. And she stands up and then says, very well, agree I wouldn't leave if I was you, given that the authorities are looking for you, and Mr. Pearson would like nothing more than to get his hands back on you. I'm going to go out for some errands. Food's in the refrigerator. And then she gets to the door or the threshold of like the sitting room or whatever, and she looks back and she says, don't touch the bags with the red liquid in them. And then walks out.
And he probably just sits there curled up on the couch, and we can cut there. Cool. Also, I uploaded a token for Gree. I think it works.
Oh, cool.
Not quite as emo as I'd
right.
like.
Yeah. Dark anime boy hair.
The funny thing is I Googled I just Googled like anime emo boy, and like the first thing that popped up with this is like top 25 hottest emo, and everyone's like, oh my gosh.
I love the Iceland token too.
Picture.
Alyssa, no, that's definitely how I picture Iceland.
Thanks.
Yeah, that
get on the game. Just kidding. You don't have to.
Okay.
So I think let's go to Zaf. Zaf, it's Saturday, right? I think if there's nothing that you would think would happen at the funeral you go to, it's probably just after the funeral, right? Unless you skip.
Can we do something on Friday night?
Sure, of course.
I guess I would after dealing with all this stuff and the club failing, and I was like, okay, let me just get this information about Spirit Week. So I text Amy, hey, you up?
Classic. I mean, you're definitely trying to turn someone on, let's be real.
Okay.
What else is going to happen when the most attractive teenage boy at the school texts you at, what is it, like 11 p.m. or something?
Yeah. It's not that late, you know.
Right, but it's like that perfect amount of late to be like sort of, ooh.
Okay, so it's really hot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Fail.
Ooh. I go up.
Ouch.
Did you advance?
I do.
Nice. What do I do?
You're so far ahead of me.
I'm gonna take hypnotic.
Oh, nice.
What's that do?
You can hypnotize people who have no strings on you. Roll with hot. On a 10 up, they do exactly what you wish and have no idea that anything is wrong. On 7 to 9, the hypnosis works, but choose one. They realize exactly what you've done to them. They F up your commands, or their sanity is unhinged.
Nice.
That's pretty. Wait, what happens on a worst roll?
I mean, it's just it fails,
doesn't
and then
happen.
I get to make a move.
That's exciting.
I know. That's I was like what I regretted not taking from the start. So I'm like, yes.
Yep.
So I'm guessing she not up.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. It's just like she's already asleep. She needs her beauty rest. And I think what happens actually, Zaf, is something gets wrong with the phone service, and like the text actually never gets to her phone. Like for whatever reason, she just doesn't receive the text. And she won't receive the text. Like she'll never receive it. But you don't know that, and so you're just like sitting there waiting, and nothing happens. What do you do?
Go to sleep,
Fair.
I guess. I mean, like I'm not trying to. I'm just
You
trying
ain't
to
your
find
girl.
out what she's wearing for Spirit Week. You know.
The first thing you text her after, are you up? What are you wearing? Oh, I mean, for Spirit Week.
Look, that's not my fault that I'm that predictable of
Yeah.
my plans. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, wait. Here we go. I'm about to upload my picture. Let's see.
Oh, nice.
How did I know? That's what it
boy.
was gonna be.
Robert Pattinson. Very nice.
Oh my God, Zach, so hot right now. Look at those cheekbones.
So, nice. I think we'll continue with Zaf though, into the next day. Do you go to the funeral?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. And it's the classic, like you're required to go to this event. You don't have any fun at all. There's nothing really to do. There's no one there your age. Your aunt just died. You didn't really know her. Your parents bicker the entire time. And
Wait, my parents are having problems?
we already knew this.
No.
And then you get home and probably go to your room because you're just like, I don't want to deal with their arguing right now or whatever, So what does Zaf get up to after the funeral?
I guess I'd try and text Amy again and be like, are you ignoring me?
Right. Yeah, and obviously she will never receive that first text, and so she just gets this one, and she immediately writes back. Oh, let's see how. I'm trying to think of how she takes this. She obviously takes this badly because you failed the role, and this is like kind of continuing that. Let me double check my GM moves. Let's see. Leap to the worst possible conclusion. Guys, let's think about this. What's the worst possible conclusion Amy could come to if Zaf just randomly texts her, "Are you ignoring me?"
Was this meant for somebody else?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's meant for somebody else. And she's like, I thought you were interested in me.
Yeah, I think that works.
So I'm confused. Say that again. I just don't understand.
So
what you're saying.
she thinks he sent it to the wrong person.
Because like there's no reason for him to have sent that to her. So it
Yeah.
must
Right.
be for somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, and so she texts back, "Sorry, Zaf, I think you have the wrong number."
I
No,
call
she
her.
doesn't say your name. She just says, "Sorry, I think you have the wrong number."
I call.
You call? Okay.
Yeah, I call.
So we see Amy having just sent this text, and then like she's having like an existential crisis, and so she sighs back onto her bed. Right, we see her room is just filled with just like flowery pink everything. Right, there's stuffed animals that she doesn't tell anybody about, but like are definitely there. And she like is laying back on her bed like in these like fuzzy pajamas, just like phone onto her chest, like. And then her phone just starts ringing. I'm trying to think if she has set any special ringtone for you, and I think she has, even though you've like probably never called her. And I think it's probably let's say it's Turning Page. That Sleeping at Last song from Twilight.
You know, it could have just been Bella's lullaby, but that's okay.
Well, I don't know that one. I know Turning
Fine.
Page because it's Sleeping at Last, Emily.
It's fine.
So yeah, this romantic piano starts playing, and then she's like, and she's looking at it like, what the? Why is he? Okay, and then, and is that? Hi, Zaf. How are you? Yeah, what's up?
I knew this was your number, Amy. Why did you text me that?
Oh, I thought that you were well, you just randomly texted, "Are you ignoring me?" and there wasn't anything before that, so I just assumed you had accidentally texted me. No, it doesn't matter. Hi, how you doing?
Okay. I was just trying to see what you were wearing for Spirit Week next week.
Oh. Well, I mean, what day? There's a different theme every day. What?
For all of them, I guess.
Yeah, and obviously you like failed the role. So I'm just trying to think of she's gonna continue leaping to the wrong conclusions
Well,
here.
she thinks it is for her now, because that is the wrong conclusion.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Right,
that's
fair.
true.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That makes sense. I forgot that Zaf actually wasn't trying to get this girl to like her or to like him. So yeah, she just immediately like, well, and then she just like starts listing them off.
She's like, well, what are you wearing?
No, I think she's the kind. I mean, she's the like, what's the word? I don't know what word I'm looking for. Some synonym for arrogant or whatever. She's the arrogant popular girl. Yeah, you know, the selfish popular girl stereotype. And so she wouldn't ask Zaf what he's wearing. She would just immediately like starts going into like, well, I'm obviously going to be. I put so much work into this, and then she's trying to play herself up as she explains her various outfits that she has planned. And then I'm matching with Brittany on this day.
Yeah, I take notes to send off to my good buddy, old pal.
Sounds good. And then after like you have that conversation briefly, she then says, "So Zaf, I heard that there was gonna be a little get together in the clearing tonight. Were you gonna go? Were you gonna be there? Because I was thinking maybe of going, but if like a whole bunch of people that I don't know aren't gonna be there, then it might be kind of lame."
Who in this town would be there that you don't know?
And like obviously, yeah, she was obviously like using hyperbole there for sure, right? She just doesn't answer that, and she just says, "Are you going?"
I don't know, maybe. I just came back from a funeral.
And I killed someone yesterday.
The two events are unrelated. Yeah, how would you respond to that? Oh, I'm so sorry, Zaf. Did you know the person really well?
No.
Now she's just confused because she's like, okay, but you just like you made it sound like it was like traumatizing for you. She's just confused now. And I think she says, I think Max was gonna get some beer if you're into that. If you're going tonight, I mean, just okay, you're not going. Well,
No. I'll go.
no, listen, I don't want to bother you if you weren't planning on going.
I'll be there.
Okay. And then
Okay, bye.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like about to say something else, and then you just and she's oh, okay, bye. And then hang up. Yeah, and I think like in her mind, she's like, our first date.
I definitely text Todd all the deets and also that she's gonna be at the clearing tonight.
Right. Okay. So is that for you actually gonna go?
Yeah, I'll show up. There's gonna be beer. That's fine.
Okay. Sounds good.
Why not?
Cool. Well, while we're leading up to that, Iceland, what are you up to?
I have no clue. Because the first thing I'd want to do is talk to Gree, but I mean, I don't know where he's at.
That's fair.
So I don't know. I wonder if maybe I wonder if like he's gonna go to like the clearing. I'm like, where could I find him? Like I don't know where
Right.
he lives,
No,
but like I gotta warn him. And
that's an
I
assumption you
probably
make.
heard
Yep.
that like about this place, from like all the chatter around. So I'm like, maybe he'll be there.
Well, we know that you've been stalking Zaf, right? You've been like
Right,
checking.
that's true.
So maybe we see that you heard that conversation, right? That phone conversation you just had, and so just like, oh yeah, the clearing. Okay, yeah, Green might be there, and then I can warn him.
Well, plus she might know that I've been taking my social cues from Zaf.
Also true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe so. I went to Zaf's house, like heard that because I thought that maybe Gree would be there, and I was like, okay, well maybe he'll be there, and then so I'll go to the clearing tonight.
Okay, so that's being set up. Let's do this before we go to the clearing party. Gree, then, what do you spend the rest of the day doing? Like, do you leave at all?
No, I probably just honestly, I probably just sit there with all those like thoughts going through my head of like what I just saw and just stewing on them just because they were so just like crazy, you know?
Okay.
Be right back.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, if Gree's not gonna show up to the party, which it seems doubtful, then let's just jump to that with you two. So I'll ask him real quick. So is that, you think, like, is Gree not going to do anything the rest of the day, basically?
I don't think so. I think he's kind of paralyzed for the day, just kind of trying to process everything. Because, I mean,
Makes
he
sense.
just saw, like, horrifying memories, and he's, like, he's just trying to process what happened, pretty much, I think.
Sounds good. Okay, so we see every party scene in any teenage movie ever, right? Various rowdiness happening in this clearing. There's some trucks, I think, that people have brought in, and the beds are open, and there's like, kegs or whatever, various whatever ways they would set up this alcohol, like on the beds of the truck. They have other food there and stuff. They probably have a grill. Someone's grilling hot dogs. They're, people are having a fun time. Zaf and Iceland, when do you guys show up? Like, I think the assumption is sundown, right? Is like when this is starting.
Yeah, and like probably I have to like sneak out after my parents have like settled in, and it's an appropriate time for me to just like go up into my room.
Right. And I think
leave.
like dinner is just decidedly tense because your parents have been had the tension at the funeral, and then something blows up, I think, at dinner, which basically your dad leaves to just go to work to like, or wait, did we say that he's like, someone's parent was like sitting on the couch all the time.
That was,
it was Todd's.
Todd's.
Okay, I was just making sure that I had this
No,
straight.
my dad works a lot,
Your dad
and I
works
think
a lot.
he's like out of town a lot too. Like he's fairly absent.
Yeah, and so I think what happens, right, is like they have this argument at the dinner table, and it ends with your dad going back to work just because he doesn't want to be here, and then your mom is just crying. You literally just excuse yourself and go to your room.
Yeah, I think she's probably like sitting at the table, like kind of like just like silently, like head down, crying kind of thing, and I just kind of like.
Dad aloud.
Yep.
What a happy
Awkward.
family.
Yep. Cool. So, and then you sneak out.
Yeah, but I don't want to be like one of the first at the party.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you probably need to wait a little while so you can make it seem like you've gone to sleep or whatever, or at least, done your reading or something, whatever that would keep your mom from coming in and bothering you. And then you head out. So Iceland, do you get show up earlier you think?
No, I think what I do probably is I probably like stay behind. Like I probably am like watching the party and waiting for either Zaf or Grebe, so that way I can like ask if anybody's like seen him.
Yeah,
because I know that he follows Zaf. If like Ben Pearson shows up or like Noah shows up, then I might go ask them. But
I think that's probably what happens first, right? Is you're
Wait,
kind of like
they
on the
show up?
outskirts. Yeah,
They're there early.
Why would they be there? That's my
They were
question.
probably hanging out having a picnic during the day, and then all these people come in to party.
They were on a nature hike, no, I think literally like they just found out about it somehow, like on accident. Like someone let something slip, and then they show up early because that's what nerds do when they don't understand how these parties work. And they're awkwardly kind of, as everybody's like setting, some of the guys are setting up stuff, and Garrett comes over to them and says, hey guys, and then Noah just is like kind of pales and kind of curls into himself a bit because he just doesn't know how to handle the situation. And then Ben Pearson just says, hi, we're here for the party. And Garrett's like, party? Who said anything about a party?
They have like a grocery bag with like chips in it, right? They brought snacks, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. He has like chips and hummus or something, right? Like
hummus is good. Don't be.
No, it is, but it's not for this kind of party, right?
That's fair.
What's so funny? That's what Seth would do.
Exactly.
I would. Hummus is delicious.
And that tells us exactly who you are in this scenario, Seth.
There's a reason why when I was mean to Ben, I'm like, I feel bad.
Wait, are you insinuating that I'm Garrett?
Not necessarily, kinda. Anyways. So Garrett,
I don't know if I would just like go up while like it's still early though. That feels weird to me.
Well, I assume you're just like generally like, because you're a ghost, so you can just like watch from a distance, right? So I assume you're not like a part of this at all yet, and you're just like watching, but you do see this like, because it's like it's not like you have anything better to do, and you can keep yourself hidden, so you're just like out at the clearing, from a distance watching this. Yeah, and so Garrett, you just like what party, and then I think Ben Pearson just like points to like the kegs that they're setting up on the beds of these trucks, and just said, the party that those are going to be drank at. And Garrett just like looks behind them briefly, and then let's look back, and then just like kind of arches his lip a little bit, and he's just like, yeah, sure, yep, party's this way. And it's just
I realized something too. Ben and Noah kind of saw agree.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to find somebody who's associated with him, but I would definitely wait for like some more people. Like,
yeah, and I think obviously there's like the people start showing up, but Ben and Noah the whole time are just standing in one corner by themselves. No one talks to them. They don't move from that spot. They're still holding the chips and hummus. Right?
They should be eating.
They got like
them.
their one red Solo cup that they're just awkwardly like sipping on.
And it's not. Yeah.
Did they not know how to work the keg?
Yeah, I don't think they even have anything in the cup. They just like each have a solo cup, and they didn't know how to work it, so they're just standing there pretending like they have something in their cups.
There's no way they know how to work a keg.
Oh, I guess if they're that awkward, they wouldn't be eating the chips and hummus.
I don't think they would yet, at least.
They're gonna make it go bad.
But yeah, Iceland. I mean, you at this point you're like, well, I could just go talk to them, like they're just standing.
Yeah, so I think she like slyly comes out of the tree and then just like tries to like go around the corner.
This creepy girl in a white dress, just like.
Am I in a white dress?
You're not. I'm
totally
token.
in like a regular hood, but
Yeah, I know. Step out of the shadows.
Yeah, I mean at this point it's dark, so I don't think anybody notices. But yeah, I totally just like step up and like start walking in the middle, just like awkwardly, like with my hands in my pockets and just like looking around. And I mean, I'll just like go over to Noah and Ben.
Yeah, I mean, if you're crossing the clearing to get to them, it seems like you're describing. I think obviously Garrett intercepts you first, right?
Oh, great.
So he sees you, and I think it's maybe an accidental thing, right? He has something that he's carrying from one place to another, and then he bumps into you, and he's just like, Iceland, hey, and he like sets like the cooler down that he was carrying. Just like, hey, I didn't know you were gonna be here.
Yeah, I didn't either. Kind of a last minute thing.
Spur of the moment decision. Understandable. Sometimes I have to think through like whether or not I'm just gonna show up to these things or not. You know, it's just like sometimes it's just like
Didn't
I
you
would
plan
much
it?
rather be at I'd much rather be at home reading.
Didn't you plan this event?
Yeah, I did this time.
Well, yeah. So,
I kind of am obligated to show up for that. Hey, listen, just wanted to apologize for yesterday. I think there was some awkwardness between us, and I just wanted to make sure that you're okay, because I'm okay, and just make sure you're good with what happened. Not that like you liked that I kissed you necessarily, but just like that we're not.
she's just like staring at him, like just letting him talk.
Yeah, if it's not like you're not gonna like freak out at me or anything. Are we cool?
So I'm allowed to ask him a question, right? Because we had a moment
Oh yeah,
for my intimacy move.
yeah.
Okay. So, and we're allowed to ask questions of each other. So is that his question to me? Like, are we cool?
Oh, you can both ask each other questions.
Yeah, we both get to
yeah.
ask
I
each
think
other.
that is his question, right? He's like, are you cool with that? Like, did you? And I think like if you can give him more information besides like, was that okay? Like, if Iceland liked it, then he also wants to know that, right? Like, basically, what is your level of okayness with what happened?
Um, I think she just says like, I'm sorry, I just wasn't expecting any of that.
Of course, yeah. And I totally was a total douche to just like throw that on you. Just kind of misread some signals, I think. Not that it's your fault. I'm stupid.
I guess I'm
I'm
just
just a dumb jock.
confused, Garrett. I don't really, I mean, like, Garrett, you're not supposed to notice me. Nobody here is supposed to notice me. Like, I don't, like, you know, I don't get you. You throw these parties, yet you act like you're interested in me. Like, you can stop pretending like you're interested in me.
You think I'm pretending?
Well, yeah, you clearly are, aren't you? And that's her, like, question.
Yeah, and he frowns and he says, let's see. I'm trying to think of how this. Because, like, you guys are all in the middle of a party right now, right? So, like, if you guys were alone, he would totally just, like, confess his feelings for you right now. And I think you're gonna get that no matter what, right? Like, you're gonna understand that because you've asked him the question. But I think the way the scene shakes out is, what was the actual question?
Are you faking your feelings for me? Like, why are
Right.
you pretending to like me? Like, is this basically she's asking, is this a cruel joke? Like, because I'm just like not about
Right.
that. Like, this is just
Yeah.
like, don't mess with me.
Yeah, so I think this is what happens, right? He's frowning, like he's about to say like, no, of course not. And then I think Max walks over and like puts his arm around him and just be like, hey, Garrett, what's it? Oh, okay. Garrett, why are you talking to Creeper Girl? And Garrett just like pales. Yeah, Garrett just
And
like
then
pales.
she just like shakes her head. And she's just like, I'm sorry, I just need to go talk to Noah and Ben. I'll bye. And then,
yeah, and Max is just like, right, of course, yep. The nerds gotta go talk to the other nerds. And Garrett's just like looking at him like, what is wrong with you, dude? And I think literally what happens, right, is he like shrugs off Max and then he goes after you and like grabs your hand, right? And he like turns you around and just like, Iceland, I'm not faking it. I really like you. And I don't care who knows it. And like there's a couple people like nearby who like have their cups and they're just like, what? And it's just like, I think you're really cool. And well, I'm not faking it.
I don't know what she says. I feel like I feel like she's like. I mean, because I feel like she feels like he's being truthful, like she knows that, but like at the same time because here's what I think happened to Iceland, right? I think what happened was when she got asked to homecoming all those years ago, it was a cruel prank.
Yeah,
and that's how
obviously.
she ended up going out
In
and
this
getting
cycle.
murdered, right?
Yep.
And so I think she's just like.
So what you're saying is that Iceland got ghosted, and then Iceland got
Became a
ghosted.
ghost.
I was saving that joke for later, but it was a good opportunity.
I think it was just a cruel prank by like the popular boys, and so she's just like, really, Mr. Popular Garrett likes me, Iceland.
And the thing is, like, people are starting to just like, because you're like, he's made a scene in the middle of like this party, and like a bunch of people are like, watching now, and so he's like really self-conscious as everything is that's going on. He's just like, can we talk about this over there? Step away for a second.
Yeah, she's gonna shut him down right there. She's just like, if you can't say it in front of these people, then I want nothing to do with you.
Roll to shut someone down.
Shut him down.
Do it.
Partial success.
On a 7 to 9, choose one from below, but you come across poorly, and they give you a condition in return.
Oh no.
She comes across Sundere.
So they lose a string on you. If they have no strings on you, gain one on them. They gain a condition, or you take one forward.
They get a condition?
Yes, you're gonna get a condition no matter what, because Garrett's gonna give you one. But you can give him a condition, you can gain a string on him, or you can take one forward.
I guess I'll gain a string on him.
Okay.
Or no, I think I'm gonna give him a condition.
Yeah. Cool. What's the condition you're gonna give him?
Like I want to say something along the lines of like unsure of who he is, or like doesn't want to like or something along
identity crisis
or something, right? Where he's like not quite, not, I don't know, there's like a word. What's the word? English work. Where like he's just like ashamed to like be who he is because he wants, because being popular is like the way that like
ashamed of his true feelings.
Yeah.
Let's go with that for now. And so it obviously comes across poorly. And I think probably what it ends up being is, like, obviously you shut him down, and so he doesn't say anything, and because you're like, your intent is to just be like, listen, obviously it's true that you don't actually like me, because if you did, you'd actually be able to say it.
Right.
And so, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be. And then you walk away. And I think, because it comes across poorly for you, and so he gives you a condition. I'm trying to think. So I think the condition he's going to give you is, did I just mess everything up?
Oh.
Because I think you're going to walk away from that, because he's going to be like super depressed about it, right? The rest of the night, he's just going to be like by himself, like not really talking to anybody. And so you're going to be second guessing yourself, like, oh, wait a second, did he actually? But like you keep going back and forth in that cycle of like, no, of course he didn't, because he would have said something in front of, but what if he does and he's just afraid, like I'm afraid, and you're like, it's that cycle. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I guess I just like storm off and go straight for like beeline it to like Ben and Noah.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah, and so I've been
unless Zaf shows up, then I would go to him first.
I think Zaf hasn't shown up yet.
Okay.
He's gonna be fashionably late.
Of course.
And so yeah, Ben Pearson I think says to you immediately like, "Whoa, did you just reject Garrett?"
I really don't want to talk about that right now. I'm just looking for Gree.
Why are you?
They're like, everyone's looking for Gree.
Exactly. Yeah. He's like, why are you looking for Gree?
I know something. I just want to tell him something.
Are you gonna ask him to homecoming?
Right. I think that's literally what I think Noah says that. I think Noah like quietly from the side, she said, "Are you gonna ask him to homecoming? Is that why you rejected Garrett?"
No.
Okay, then why? Ben says.
I just have to tell him something. Do you know where he is?
And they kind of like look at each other. And I think Ben Pearson says, not exactly.
Not exactly. This is important.
Okay, all right. Well, he showed up at my house he came over to hang out with us last night. We were at Noah's house, and then he got all weird and creepy, and so I was worried something was wrong. He was like, what was it exactly? You said like,
I grabbed him by like the collar and was
Yeah.
like, what is your dad doing, sort of thing.
right, yeah. And he's like, he was
Like,
talking,
your
he
dad
was
is
talking really
after
weird
me.
about my dad. My dad was after him for some reason. So I like called my dad, and I was like, well, I don't know what's going on. And then Gree
called your
ran
dad?
away. Yeah, I mean, I called my dad because he was like,
And she's just like, oh crap.
I needed to figure out what's going on. Like Grease for some reason, like running from him, I guess. So I don't know where he is. He
Do you know
totally
if Zaph's
trashed
coming?
Zaph. And he just looks at you like, do you think I talk to Zaph? He doesn't say anything, but he just like gives you a look like, what?
Well, did your dad actually come get him? Like what happened?
Well, he was going to, and then he ran away. He totally trashed Noah's mom's kitchen.
I did, didn't I?
Okay.
I don't know where he went. We were just playing Master Tech, and then he threatened me.
Well, you guys are no help at all. And then she just like walks away.
Noah
Ben-
is Noah help.
Ben Pearson looks at Noah, and he's just like, what is up with people today? And Noah just shrugs.
Noah's just like, a girl talked to me.
Probably true. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think
then
probably that's the point where Zaph, I think, shows up, right?
Okay.
So Zaph, do you show up with Todd?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So Amy's already there with her posse. They're in their group, giggling and drinking. And immediately, like, they start giggling even louder and pointing at, and, like, just looking over in your direction. And when you come,
And I just kind of like whispered to Todd, like, give me a second with Amy. Trust me.
he frowns and he's like, no funny business, Zaph.
And I just like walk up and I go, ladies, Amy, do you want
Hi,
to go
Zaph.
talk over there real quick?
Where are you pointing exactly?
I don't know, away, just like anywhere, like slightly away from.
And so they're building a big bonfire. So are you talking about like outside the firelight sort of a thing? Or like still within the firelight in the party?
Like still within the firelight. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Just need
Yeah.
somewhere alone to hypnotize her real
Yeah.
quick.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, and so she says, yeah, sure. And then looks back at some of her friends and goes like yeah. And then
All the
walks
girls
over
are
to you.
like,
Yeah. Yep.
But also, like, as soon as they turn around, they're just like, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, exactly. A cloud appears above them.
no, not Cassie. Cassie's a nice girl.
No, it's
She
true. Yeah.
is excited
Right.
for Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just kind of go like, Amy, we need to talk.
Okay, about what?
And I look her into the eyes
I'm so ready for this to go horribly wrong. Let's
I
do
know,
it.
right?
and attempt to hypnotize her.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh,
Oh,
one.
no.
I roll with hot.
Yep.
so hot right now.
Do you have any forwards? Oh,
yeah! Oh, no! Nice.
Fail.
Wow, just a fail.
Okay.
She did roll one.
So what do you actually try to hypnotize her and say?
I just try and like I don't think I say anything like super outrageous to make her be like, what are you doing? But I think I'm just kind of like, Amy, you shouldn't like me. You like Todd instead. I'm not good for anyone.
Okay, so obviously what happens is the hypnotism doesn't work. You're too new at it to actually make it work right. And so this is just a normal oh, he's worried. He's doing the bad boy thing of has troubled soul and only I can heal him. And so she just falls for you even deeper.
And I just kind of go followed up with I think Todd's gonna ask you to homecoming and you should say yes.
Ooh, okay. And I think she's literally just interpreting this all as no, but what he really wants me to do is say no and then wait for him, right? And so
I really tried.
Right, exactly. And so I think she puts a hand on your arm and she just says, let's see how she...
You just care about me so much.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so she says something like that. She says, Zaf, it is so sweet that you care about me that much. That you think that you're not good enough for me. But listen, you need to have a little bit more faith in yourself. You're amazing. And
I just kind of I don't want to yank my arm away, but I kind of am just
yeah, slowly take her hand off.
Just, at some point I want to interrupt for sure. Iceland's just beelining it. It doesn't, I don't know, whenever, just.
Sure. Yep.
No, and I'm just kind of Amy, no, I really, and I think at that point, I realize it didn't work.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm just kind of Todd is a good guy and he really likes you.
Yeah, and so she frowns and she says, "Who's Todd?"
Come on, Amy, you know who he is. We literally walked in.
Curly hair?
And I just kind of shake my head and start walking back to the group.
Yeah, and right before she grabs your arm again, she says, "Listen, Zaf, you don't have to be afraid. If you're just worried about you can
Can I turn my eyes darker or something and just turn around and be I'm not good for you."
Yeah, okay, so you say that, and then I think that's when Iceland shows up. So go ahead and I don't know what you say, Iceland.
So Iceland will just go right up and just be Zaf, I need to talk to you now.
Yeah, and so I think what happens, right? So Zaf, you don't actually get to do your dark whatever. You start to turn and you're about to say it, and then Iceland shows up, and then immediately Amy just looks at you, Iceland, and then her immediate assumption is just this girl, you this is my competition. Zaf likes her? What?
It's do I know who Iceland is?
No,
we're in the same class.
Not. I mean, the thing
Once
with Iceland
again,
is that
do I know who Iceland is?
Yeah. The thing with Iceland is most people she's just background noise.
Right, exactly. That's true.
Well,
So
people aren't supposed to notice her.
Do your backstories include each other?
She
knows
knows
Iceland's...
me.
But I thought you knew
Iceland...
something about me.
Oh, wait, I think I do. I don't think I know who you are necessarily, but I know about how you died. I don't know if I necessarily know
it's me
who is the ghost. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's true. You knew something because Quinn knows something.
Yeah, but I don't think I necessarily know that it's you.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think that's
fair.
true.
That's fair. That's fair.
To be fair,
Unless you do want me to make it know that it's you.
No, I think it makes sense because Quinn has been probably cryptic about stuff. And
Like
so you
Quinn
obviously know
doesn't even know
something.
it's me.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, you know something about, like, basically, I think what it's going to be is once Zaf actually figures out who Iceland is and maybe, like, learns a piece or two of, like, who and what Iceland is, Zaf will probably know something that will be like, whoa, it will click for him. Like, I knew this other piece of information that's, like, totally relevant to Iceland's situation, but for right now, you haven't put it together, so.
Okay. So I just kind of, like, give you, like, a really confused look and go, who are you?
I'm in your class, Iceland.
And, like, no look of recognition flashes behind my eyes.
And the thing is, like, Amy the whole time is just like, oh my gosh, Zaf is being aloof, and it's so attractive, but he's being aloof to Iceland, and I hate it.
So wait, what can we use strings for?
You can spend aside character strings. Oh, sorry, that's a different thing. When you spend a string on someone, you can tempt them to do what you want, give them a condition, add 1 to your roll against them, or add 1 to the harm you deal them.
Okay, all right, good to know. I don't know if I need to tempt Zaf to do anything, but I'm just like, I need to talk to you. I just need to know where Gree is, please.
And we get another, I think the whole time we've been getting like this inner monologue from Amy, like in anime style, right? Where you just hear their voice, and then you just hear Amy, and we zoom up on her face and her eyes, and she's just like, that hussy! Right?
And so like I see Amy, and like she's like still holding on to like his arm, right? And so I just like brush her arm off.
I carefully extricated myself.
No,
that was
before. Again, remember?
And so I just like brush her arm off, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, can you please give us a moment? This is private.
Yeah, and in out loud she says, "Of course, Iceland." And inside she's just like,
ooh,
gonna kill you. She is gonna make your life a living hell.
My life is already a hell.
That's fair.
Ice towards Iceland.
Yep.
All right. So now that Zaf and I are alone, I'm just like, for one, girl's crazy. You need to like cut that off. But where's Gree? Do you know where Gree is? I know he follows you around.
Does Zaf know who Gree is?
I don't think so.
I don't remember I didn't write down the backstory parts that related to me, so I don't know.
I thought
you follow Gree or you follow Zaf around,
yes,
but I think.
But I don't know if there was any inverse.
No. Zaf doesn't have any strings with you.
Wow, am I the only one that knows everything about everyone?
Well, here's the thing. I have 4 strings on Zaf for some reason, and I don't know why.
But you follow him around. Zaf only has 1 string on you, but that's only because he's beautiful, right?
Well,
he doesn't have actually any backstory with you at all.
I just have strings on people because I'm super hot.
Well, then why do I have 4 strings on Zaf?
Because you follow him around all the time.
But
you
that
know
gives
everything
me
about
2
him.
strings. I have another 2 strings on him for some reason.
You saved my
someone once
unlife.
saved your unlife. Oh yeah, forgot about that.
That doesn't necessarily mean I know he knows who I am, though.
Yeah, did we figure that out? I feel like we did.
I don't think so.
Unknown.
No, I think we just said at some point Zaf or Gree saved your life.
Probably like in
we
the
should probably figure that out
background,
now.
right? Like probably, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, he did take the fall for you after you murdered a guy.
Maybe it was something along the lines of people were going after Zaf for whatever his stuff is, but then they found out I was there and were like, no, this is more important.
Oh, no, you're right. I think Mr. Pearson was probably interested in Zaf because Quinn made him, right? And she's like, whoa, this is dangerous. She's never done this, but like she hasn't done this in a long time, and was following Zaf around, and then you showed up because you were following Zaf around too, and then Mr. Pearson was like, whoa, wait a second, no, it's Gree, I gotta find him again. Like, I think that's exactly what happened, for sure. So Zaf, Mr. Pearson isn't going after Zaf anymore because he's more worried about you.
Okay, that makes sense.
Cool.
So I'm just kind of like, I don't know who you're talking about.
Do you really not pay attention to any?
Oh, it doesn't.
You went. Never mind. Coming here was a stupid idea anyway.
Um,
And then she's just like, the only person who did notice me, I rejected.
Exactly. Yep.
yeah, so I kind of just like like shake my head a little bit and just like walk back to the group.
Hold on, but before you go though, she does like pause you and she's just like, Zaph, you might want to be a little bit more careful around Miss Quinn.
And my eyes go dark and I just kind of go, what are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. I know
what you could be talking about, but I don't think. I hope that's not what you're talking about. I just kind of go,
I don't think I do.
No, I think you do.
I think you don't, but actually you do.
He knows that I know that she knows that I know that she knows. Does she?
And so I think Iceland will just like, she's just like so done with the night. She's just like, this is way more human interaction than I normally have. I haven't had to put up with humans in so long. She just like goes up and she'll like whisper in Zaph's ears, I know you're a vampire.
Iceland. Okay, so I'm curious about something. Zaph, could that possibly turn you on?
Look,
I feel like
because it's Alyssa, I want to say yes.
Right, exactly. I think it could.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead and roll that.
Great. I'm gonna use my string to get me a +1.
I was gonna say the thing about this game, right, is that this is all unintentional, right? This is teenage hormones are flying, and so Iceland, I think she's doing this whether or not she's meaning to, and Zaph, whether or not he's not in control of his own hormones or emotions, right? So he could be turned on by Iceland at this moment. So go ahead.
The weird questions that get asked in this
Great.
game.
I so hope I. Oh no!
Total failure.
Oh my gosh.
That was really bad.
Oh, I even used my string on that. That's so sad.
You rolled a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
I know. Wow. Yeah, that was really bad.
Well, mark that experience. Let's see.
So what happens?
So now what do I choose to do because she failed?
So Zaph, the thing I'm thinking here, right, is there's several ways you could react to this. I think the way that I think you should react to this, I think I might want to trigger your darkest self.
Oof.
Mainly because I feel like you would be like, I'm sorry, no one's supposed to know about that. Like, only people I want to, and like I need to be in control of this situation. And so you just turn into like, you know, the darkest self where it's like everyone is your pawn, your plaything, and you're just like, I need to figure out a way to like make sure that she doesn't. Maybe it doesn't need to be your darkest self, but I think the way you probably respond, right, is going to be like, this is bad, and like I need to shut her up somehow, right?
Yeah. So I kind of glance around to see if people are watching us.
No. Well, I think they have to. Amy definitely. So. Amy definitely is, right?
I drag Iceland like into the woods, like outside of the firelight.
Do you go, Iceland?
Yeah, sure. Not like she can kill me.
I don't know. She's a ghost.
Zaph, do you want to roll turn someone on? Because I think that's.
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
I mean, it could be.
Look, I got 3 strings on Iceland. Let's use them all.
What?
Why not?
Can you do that?
It's just when you spend a string on someone.
Okay. I was just wondering. I don't know if you could spend multiples.
It doesn't say you can't, so.
Okay.
Maybe I'll spend 2, and then I can have one to give her a condition.
Because the thing I'm thinking here, right, is again, these are all teenagers, and if Zaph is like dragging you out into the forest to be alone.
Okay.
And he's also a vampire. So like, this is just a natural like.
Oh my gosh, that's a 6.
So on a 10 up, they gain a string on them and they choose a reaction from below. So and I think this is totally, you get to choose this, Iceland. So I think it makes sense, right? One of these is going to be true, right? I give myself to you, I promise something I think you want, or I get embarrassed and act awkward.
I get embarrassed and act awkward, obviously.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
I mean, I think she's just like, where are you taking me? Like, what are you doing?
But that means you're going to be flustered for whatever's going to come next, right? So it's...
Yeah, so I think I just kind of like turn vampire-y and just kind of am like, no one knows about this. How do you know?
And she just says, like, I've watched you sleep. Right? Because she's being really awkward.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And I just am kind of like confused by that. And I think at that point, like, I'd already just be like, watches me. How does that mean?
I mean,
Like, how does that help you figure out he's a vampire?
Yeah.
I think, I mean, but she's just being really awkward. So she's just like,
Yeah.
I know who Miss Quinn is.
How? And I like
Really
walk
matter.
towards you like threateningly.
Does it really matter?
Yes.
Trying to think what she would do. Dang it, I wish I wouldn't have used my string. Well, I mean, let's see. I mean, what can I do? Because I can't shut Zeph down because Zeph's succeeded on the hot roll. So obviously I'm a little turned on by this. I don't know, like, what can
Say
I...
that again?
I'm wondering what I can and can't do here, because I'm clearly like...
You're flustered and you're embarrassed, and because but the thing is, like, I think it's more of like Zaph's natural vampiric hypnotic sort of charm that he has. It's not that Iceland's actually like interested in him. It's just that Zaph, when he is a vampire, like, he has certain vampiric qualities about him that just make it difficult to like.
Oh wait, Iceland doesn't have any strings on me anymore. So
It's
I can
true.
try and hypnotize her.
You can, yeah.
Crap.
Okay, so I just kind of like am like, tell me how you know about us, like me and Miss Quinn.
Okay.
Reveal your secrets.
I'm using my last 2 strings on her because I need to know.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Nice.
Literally just barely. If you hadn't spent both those strings, you would have failed. That's, or only
You
partial
do
success.
Dang it.
exactly what I wish and have no idea that anything is wrong.
So I think Iceland just like, I think she'll do like that awkward thing where she like goes up to like touch like the perfect jawbones and whatnot, and just says like, I saw it. I saw her change you. I was wandering around at night when I saw it going through walls as I normally do, and I just happened upon it. I'm sorry, I didn't.
And I just like process the fact that she said going through walls. I'm like, Okay, continue. Sorry.
I think that's it.
So I just kind of am like, you. Interesting. Can I, for hypnotic, how much am I allowed to like get them to do? Like, can I just?
It sounds like it was like one course.
Is it like that one thing? Because it's
but like reveal your secrets could be the command, in which case, like, there's plenty of stuff she could still spill if you keep questioning her, right?
Yeah, so I guess I would say, are you, as I'm like putting things together of what Miss Quinn has told me, kind of go, are you a ghost?
Yes.
Do you have plans to turn me in?
No. I could care less about you.
Okay, that's good.
I was just I don't even know why I told you to be careful of Miss Quinn. I just know she's capable of more than you think she is.
Mm.
She doesn't know who I am, or I don't think she does.
And I kind of just go, okay, and just like start walking away.
Iceland's just like, why did I come? Why did I do this?
Yeah, you got no information.
I got zero information. I was literally just trying to help out Gree. I don't even know why I care that much. I am a helpful spirit, so.
You're so helpful.
I guess she just like slowly walks back to the party. I don't like after him. Like it's like one of those things where like he goes out first and then like 2 minutes later she comes back.
Like looking super awkward too.
I know, yeah. And the thing is, I feel like a bunch of people notice it. So I think just as like a natural progression of that whole scene, I think I want to give someone a condition. Or both. I'm trying to figure out, like, people think that Zaf and Iceland are a thing now.
Paranoid, maybe?
Well, I think
confused, or no, it's a condition for us. So
it's a condition for you guys, is what I'm thinking, right?
Oh,
like
a joint
it's a
condition?
label, right? Maybe, I don't know, because I feel like, okay, I think that this is what it is. Iceland, you get the condition in the spotlight.
Oh God, no!
Right? Because people are actually paying attention to you now, because they're all like, wait a second, this girl that we don't think about too much, but is Zaf into her? Are they a thing? And suddenly everyone's noticing you all the time where they weren't before.
Oh, no.
Well, you guys are getting all the cool conditions. I want conditions.
Stop. No, you just want experience.
Yes, I do.
So I think, yeah.
Did Zaf have any conditions?
Zaf? I don't think so.
No, I don't have any listed.
Oh, dang it. Because I have one of my moves is when you help someone resolve a condition, gain a string on them, but I haven't done that yet.
Yeah. So I think what happens though, Iceland, is you go back to the party, right? And I don't know what you exactly do. You probably just stand around awkwardly for a while.
Yeah.
But you
wondering,
notice
did I mess everything up?
Right. But you notice that everyone's looking at you now. Like before you could just blend into a party like this and no one would notice that you're there. But now everyone's just like glancing at you and whispering to themselves. And I think finally, you just end up while you're standing like next to one of the trucks, like the truck beds. And Garrett comes by, like, probably to like, I don't know, refill the keg or like replace the keg or something like that, right? Like something's happening there. And he literally just like, he doesn't look at you and he just says, "You could have just told me." And then he just walks away.
Oh, no.
I think Garrett gets another condition and that's rejected.
Okay, wait, hold up. Okay. What was his other condition?
Ashamed of his true feelings.
Okay.
Or ashamed of my true feelings or whatever.
I'm wondering, how do I actually use my move Help Spirit? Like when you help someone resolve a condition, like how do I actually do that?
Narratively, I mean,
Just
it's just like
narratively?
you talk them through something or make a roll.
Okay.
Let's see. Condition goes away when the character suffering it takes appropriate action to alleviate it. So just narratively.
Okay. So then I think like hmm.
You could solve all this right now by just grabbing him and planning a kiss on him.
Would he
Yeah, but
believe
that's
it,
not what
though?
Iceland would do.
But it's what we all want.
We're screaming at the screen right now. Iceland, just go at
Iceland,
him.
just kiss him.
Just kiss him.
Well, Caleb doesn't want that. Caleb wants Alyssa to suffer.
Hey, I'm a sucker for romance.
I was gonna say, I think he wants me to just do something. I think Iceland's gonna like stand there for like just a little bit longer, and then like I don't know. I think she's gonna like look out. Like I think she's like staring at him. Like Garrett, does he ever look her way?
I don't think so, right? He walks over to the guys, right? He walks over to Max and Brett and just starts like talking to them about guy stuff.
Okay, then I want to like walk by that direction and like try to like grab his attention and like keep walking down like the woods.
Right. Go ahead and roll to turn someone on.
Oh no.
Oh.
This is not gonna go well. I already know it. I'm only gonna be able to get a partial success, even if I do succeed. Oh no.
Oh.
No.
Fail. You can mark that experience.
Oh, I'm almost there. I've got one more.
So let's see. Someone follows you out into the forest, but it's not Garrett.
Oh god, who is it?
So, how far do you go out into the forest?
I mean, I'm going basically towards the school at this point. Like I'm just leaving.
Yeah. Eventually, after a little while, you're walking, and maybe you pause just momentarily, just to see if he did follow you. Right. And when you look back, you see a figure, and you hear, "I think it's time you and I had a little chat, Iceland."
What is Miss Quinn doing here? She don't belong here.
Amy.
No,
Amy, it's not Miss
Amy.
Quinn. It's
Oh.
Amy. Come on,
crap.
she's a jealous gal.
Oh crap. Okay. I'm like, Amy, I'm really not in the mood. Like, I just want to leave.
And I'm trying to think of how she'd say this. She says, "You're an absolute slut. Do you know that?"
She just like chuckles and she's just like, I'm sorry, you're one to talk. You don't think I notice? You don't think I notice your flirtations towards every popular guy in the class? I sit in the back of the classroom. You really think I don't notice all these things?
Yeah, I think you've noticed a lot, haven't you?
Tepin's not here, but we're getting a cat fight.
Right, I know. You've taken advantage of my poor darling Zaf. You've twisted him around your little finger, and you think I'm going to stand idly by and do nothing?
If anything, I'm sorry, it's the other way around. I couldn't get a guy like Zaf even if I wanted to. He's the one who took me out into the woods.
Oh, dang.
Whoa.
She doesn't care. She's so fed up at this point. She's just like, screw it.
So
basically, I'm
trying to think
I
of what
wanna,
you're rolling
I'm trying to
something
shut
here.
her down. Like I'm just trying to be like,
Yeah.
it's not my problem. If you have a problem with me, you need to go talk to Zaf. Is basically what I'm trying
go ahead
to
and roll
say.
cold.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, you come across poorly. You choose one from below, but you come across poorly, and they give you a condition in return. So, do you gain a string on them? Do you gain a condition? Do they gain a condition, or do you take one forward?
She's clearly gonna gain a condition, and it's crazy.
Right.
But I'm gonna gain a condition, probably like stuck up or something like that, right? Or like
Right.
I don't know, or
You're definitely not
something
out
along
of the
those lines.
spotlight.
I mean, it's probably gonna be like
Easy.
yeah, something like that, right?
Easy?
No, I don't think it's easy.
Well,
I think
because she said like he's the
No.
one who brought me out to the forest. It's like I'll just go with anyone.
Right. No, you're right. Yeah, it's gonna be easy. Yep. Mhm.
Dang it. How did I went from just traumatized and closed off to did I mess everything up? I'm in the spotlight and now I'm the school slut all in one night?
How the tables have turned.
How does that happen?
A bunch of failed rolls.
10 minutes with Zaf Tresnor does it all.
Zach
Yep.
screwing everything up for me.
Oh my god.
Yep.
He got
He's screwing something. Yeah,
He got-
that's for sure.
he got Iceland messed up socially. He got my guy in prison.
Yep. Pretty much all the problems that have happened in this game have happened
Because
because
it's
of
Zaf.
It's
You
Yi in a
say
different
something
dimension.
like that to me. Spreading these lies about me.
Yeah, so you do it, right? And she's just like fuming and like whatever. And but the thing for her is like she's just gonna be like, well, whatever. I'm just gonna go tell the entire school that you're easy, okay? Like, and then she does, right?
And she's just like I care. And then she just like keeps walking.
Sounds good. So I think we'll just go. I mean, does anything else happen over the weekend? Because the only thing is, like, I don't think Gree is gonna do anything over the weekend, so I want to skip.
I think he's kind of
ahead.
traumatized.
Yeah.
He's scared to go anywhere because of everything he's seen already.
Yep.
And doesn't want to touch anything because he's like he saw horrible things and he's like I don't want to touch anything and see anymore.
I just will hang out with Todd and tell him that I tried the best I could to get Amy to like him and I can try again later. But these are and I make sure to approve his Spirit Week outfits.
Okay, sounds good. So, I think Monday morning comes, and I think one of the first scenes we get is right. Quinn wakes up early in the morning and then like comes over to you, Gree, and like she doesn't like shake you awake or anything. She just says you're instantly awake as soon as she talks to you. She just says, "Don't be late to school this morning," and then she like walks out.
I mean, he just realizes like he doesn't have a change of clothes. I'm like he doesn't have any other clothes, so it probably doesn't affect anything. So yeah, he just kind of gets up. Does he eat? Like that's something we didn't establish.
I mean, you do. You have to eat. You're not immortal or whatever.
Okay, just making sure because I'm a hollow. I don't remember all what that means.
And the thing is, like, Quinn did not make breakfast for you. She didn't set out a pair of clothes for you. She did nothing for you. So like she went to school really early, so you have plenty of time. He woke you up early, so you have plenty of time to do any of that stuff if you want to.
I mean, he'd probably just grab something out of the fridge and go.
Yeah.
Kind of all looking over his shoulder constantly, expecting Mr. Pearson to come out of any bush that he sees.
Yeah, and I think you managed to get there in time, or without anything else happening. But I think what we see first as like a scene, as we cut away from you walking to school, is we see Quinn in her office, right? And then someone knocks on the slightly ajar door, and it's Ben Pearson. And Quinn looks up and then says, "Ben, thanks for coming. Can you close the door?" And he does, and walks over. He's like, "Do you know what this is about, Mrs. Quinn or Miss Quinn? I just got your email this morning, and am I in trouble?" And she's like, "Oh no, of course not." And she stands up. And I don't necessarily want to like play out or describe this entire sequence, but if we were in the show, this would be like the incredibly cringy like seduction scene from her. She's not actually going to do anything with him, but like basically she is like being like the child predator sort of like teacher to basically be like, and listen, no one needs to know anything about Gree. Like, you're going to shut up about it. And then she's going to do the hypnotism, right? Like her vampiric hypnotism, so that Ben Pearson just forgets about everything that happened with, at Noah's house and everything with Gree and stuff. And we get that whole sequence. And then, right, you guys get to class that morning, get to homeroom. And you're sitting next to Ben and Gree, right? Ben Pearson walks in and then just acts completely normal, right? Ben and Noah just talking about Master Tech.
Does she do that to Noah too then?
We don't see a scene if she does, but Noah doesn't seem to do anything either.
Noah's
right?
probably not the kind to bring up an awkward situation.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so Gree's just kind of sitting there. Now he's paranoid. Like,
Exactly.
he's like, they're not talking about it. They're like, I'm just kind of sitting here. They're acting like everything's normal. Like it's normal that he turned me into his crazy dad.
Yeah. And so let's figure out what Spirit Week looks like, shall we? So I think today is probably like pajama day, right? And so Gree, like using his like change of like not changing any clothes and looking kind of ratty, just kind of perfectly blends in to what it is anyway.
I look like
right?
this every day.
Exactly. What does everybody's outfit look like? Obviously, Iceland just wears the same thing. Yes, exactly.
When people realize that now that she's like in the spotlight,
exactly. That's the thing. They never noticed her before, but when Iceland walks in,
I think Iceland can wear other clothes. It's just that those clothes won't like go through walls with her, right, or something like that.
But where would she get the clothes?
No,
exactly. Like I don't think I actually have up until this point, but I'm just saying I think she has the capability of that.
Gotcha.
It's
you can just like steal them. She can go through walls and be invisible and steal clothes. Like
because I think she'd have to for gym and stuff like that, right? She'd have to like.
Right. I mean, the issue is, I think we described the in the first episode. I think we described like a whole thing with Iceland not going to prom because she can't change into a prom dress, and I like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
What if she has to like keep the clothes she has on underneath whatever she puts on? So like she'd be wearing a t-shirt with a prom dress over it.
Yes, I think that's probably true.
Okay,
right,
got it.
And it was like a baggy shirt, so like it really.
Well, I think I'm wearing like a sweatshirt. Right?
Yeah,
like a hoodie.
So like a prom dress would not fit over it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or at least if it would.
Well, it's like just. I mean, it's homecoming. Homecoming isn't like. Homecomings aren't always as fancy. Yeah.
Yeah, but also you could
you'd still stand out
underneath.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Totally. Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, I think the thing with Iceland in this situation is you come here and normally people don't notice the fact that, because there are some kids who just don't do anything for Spirit Week, right? But everyone notices that you didn't, and like they're talking about it. You hear them talking about it. I think one of them, as Iceland, do you show up? Do you get there first, Iceland?
Oh, I think I am there first. Yeah, I think as soon as like Gree walks in the door, like, and Gree probably walks in kind of late-ish. Like she's gonna go straight up to him and be like, "We need to talk." And then
I think before that, right? Like as everybody else is coming in, I think you hear. As everyone comes in, they immediately start having conversations about you, and they're just like who does she think she is? Like, she's just like got like her like arm down on her desk and it's just like laying there. Like I'm not like pretending like. What does Zaf see in her? Like, and then Amy and her gaggle are just like, what an absolute jerk. Like this girl thinks that she can just get away with whatever and dress however, and yeah.
And then, so as soon as she like hears Gree's voice, she'll like perk up, and then she'll like turn over there, and then be like, "Gree, we gotta talk."
And I mean, the thing is, everyone notices this, right?
I don't care at this point,
right?
But Gree has no idea what's going on.
Suddenly, everyone's looking in your direction, Gree.
And now Gree's paranoid. Like, do they all know? Like everything happened this weekend.
Yeah.
Does Gree know that you know? Does Gree know that Iceland knows about him?
I don't think we've had a real conversation up until this point. Because I think what happened, right, is like she like, she kind of wanders the city every now and then, and she probably like saw you at the plant at some point. She
Maybe
knows
you saw
all
me
the
escape.
secrets. Maybe, yeah. Something like that.
So yeah, like Gree just gives you this look of like, what do you want?
Just let's go talk outside.
And everyone's looking at him. It's like,
Yeah.
he just
So I
books
would
it
like
out of
to
there.
yeah. Okay.
So the thing is, I think at that point, Iceland, as soon as you say like we need to talk outside, that's when that's when Mr. Murphy comes in, right? And just like, and the bell rings like right as he walks in, and he's just like, "All right, everybody, sit down, Iceland."
And she's just like, after class. And then just like she'll go sit down and like it's just so awkward. It's just like
Yep.
Okay.
So do any of you say anything or do anything in particular during class?
No, but my pajamas that I'm wearing are just normal clothes, but I bring a pillow to class and intend to sleep during class, which then makes my pajamas.
Yep. Sounds good.
Classic Zaf move.
So I'm curious. So this is the thing, right? Todd obviously paired his pajama stuff with Amy. I'm curious though if Amy like changed her plans because there was like this whole thing with Zaf. And I feel like she would, just because I think she wants to get you to notice her, Zaf. And like if she is assuming that you're gonna coordinate with her, she wants to, because
she wants you to be like, dude, what the heck? I thought we were coordinating. Like, what's going on?
Or even just if she thinks like that was all just a joke for you, like she wants you to notice that she changed her plans because you asked about them and you know them. So Todd is woefully mismatched. And I mean, obviously you did it in such a way, you'd say to Todd in such a way to like match it tastefully for a guy version of whatever she's doing. So it's not like everyone, like, he stands out in an awkward way. It's just, Amy
well, it's difficult to match a guy version of, she clearly was probably planning on wearing a like silky dress with like a silky bathrobe.
Yeah.
Obviously.
They're silky boy like pajamas.
Robes.
They exist.
But yeah, I mean, whatever happens, Todd just doesn't fit with Amy and it doesn't work. And so Todd is like, he tapped on the shoulder at one point early in class during homeroom, and he's just like, "What the heck, Zaf?
I bought new clothes for this."
Yeah, exactly. I went to Old Navy for this.
And I'm just kind of like, what?
She's not wearing what you said she was wearing.
And I just kind of look over it and I'm kind of like, huh, she lied to me.
And he looks at you like, yeah, she lied to you. I think I know what this is all about, Zaf. This is all a play so you can get her.
And I just kind of look down and look back up at him and I go, yeah, I did all that work with you this weekend so I can get her with me matching her outfit. And I like look down at myself again.
Okay, well, but whatever. You gotta help me out here. Is she planning on changing the outfits for every day? I bought so many clothes.
And I'm just kind of like, I don't know this is what she told me she was doing, and I told you, and
well, you need to try again.
Why don't you try?
But I can't. You
Dude,
can talk to her.
If you're gonna ask her to homecoming, you have to talk to her at some point.
Sound logic.
Yeah, I was hoping I would only have to do that when I'm, actually asking her.
I just kind of shake my head and I'm like, man, if that's what you think, I think you're past help.
And he looks at you like with hard eyes and he's like, listen, Zaf, you told me you would help me, so help me.
Does he have any strings on me?
I don't know. I don't think so.
You're just gonna go around hypnotizing everybody?
Yeah, it's a cool new power I just got.
No, I don't think any NPCs have strings on people right now.
Okay, then I just look at him and go, I've done everything I can to help you be with Amy. Now you have to do the rest of the work yourself.
And you're gonna try to hypnotize him and like just get him to do it,
and like have him do it / like also get the fact that like I've been doing everything. I don't want to be with her.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Do it. Roll that hot.
Ooh, that Zav so hot right now. Partial succeed.
Okie dokie. What's the partial success on that?
Okay, so I can choose one of the three. They realize exactly what I've done to them. They F up my commands, or their sanity is unhinged.
Yeah, you can choose one of those.
Two crazy people going for each other would be interesting.
I feel like I need to not have him know what I've done, because then I don't think he'll believe any of it.
Yeah.
Even though like it is like all of it's true and this is what I truly believe. But I think if he knows I used powers to get him to believe that, that he's like gonna get more mad at me. So I think he's gonna F up my command.
Okay. How do you think? What do we think, guys? Like, how does he, misconstrue or misunderstand what you were trying to say?
What was the exact command Zaf gave him?
It was like, I've done everything I can. Now you have to do the rest of the work.
Yeah.
Maybe he does it. He's like, okay, well, if I can't get him to do it, then I'll get one of her girlfriends to do it. And then a miscommunication will happen there. Maybe.
I think my thought is, instead of doing the rest of the work, he thinks the rest of the work is just ask her. Like he's just gonna ask her, right?
Just go for it.
Wait,
just
can that please be like an actual hot roll that he does?
He doesn't have stats, so no.
That would be so good though, because like, what if he actually just succeeded?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
Because I mean, she could just be like, yeah, okay, like let's make Zavs jealous. Something.
That's definitely what happens. Obviously,
obviously, right?
Yeah,
she says yes.
Yes, that's this is the way this game works, right? It's like I don't make rolls for the NPCs, but I make their decisions based on the other rolls that you guys have messed up, right? And so I think that's definitely what happens. And Todd's totally gonna get hurt by the end of this, right? Obviously, it's not gonna work out, but unless rolls happen to unless they end up falling for each other or whatever.
Unless I succeed in hypnotizing Amy.
But basically what happens is, I'm trying to think, he probably wouldn't do it like right now, obviously, because they're in class. He doesn't miscommunicate the commands that much or misunderstand them. But let's see, what would be a natural time during the school day today that he would do this? I guess, right? Because you guys always go and sit with them, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Todd just tags along with you when you go sit with the Gaggle girls. So that happens. And okay, yeah. So we see like a parallel to the scene we had last time, or two times ago, where you guys go sit down at the lunch table. And this time, I mean, it's a different, like, obviously the girls are all still fawning over you, Zaf. Like, that doesn't change. But Amy still has this, like, she's not angry at you, but like she has this tension about her, right? And she's constantly glancing over wherever Iceland is. Where does Iceland sit at lunch?
Like in a corner. Like she doesn't even sit in the lunchroom. She probably sits like outside, like either like under the bleachers or like somewhere, like hidden.
Well, you probably let's say for whatever reason you guys couldn't actually have a conversation until now, and you probably grabbed Gree and are talking at lunch.
Probably,
right?
Probably what happened is I ran away because I'm like, no, she's gonna turn me into Mr. Pearson as well.
Yeah, because you're paranoid right now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
is that a condition of his?
Nope.
I don't think so, but it could become one. I think. Yeah. So that makes sense, though. Iceland isn't in the room. So Amy is, like, just generally tense, like, looking around for, like, where's Iceland going to be mad at her, sort of a thing, right? But, so Zaf, you sit down. Todd sits down at the table next to them, as he usually does, right? Like, you're at the edge of the table, and he's right next to you at the next table. And I think, let's see, everybody's in pajamas. I'm just trying to think of like a suitably dramatic thing for Todd to do as like an ask. Okay, this is what happened. So he seems to be working himself up to something, and maybe Zaph doesn't understand what's happening, but eventually he just like gets up and he hasn't really touched his food, and then he walks over to where like there's probably like a microphone at one edge of the cafeteria for if like someone needs to make an announcement or whatever, right? And so he walks over to it, grabs it, like make sure it's on, and he just says, Amy, whatever her last name is. I wrote it down. What's her last name? Let's find it. Amy Baker, will you go to homecoming with me? And he literally, is all he says. He just says it. And at first, everyone's just like, what? Like, who is this guy to do that? And Amy's just like, at first she's like offended, right? She's like, what? And then she looks at Zaph. And then she gets a sly look on her face. And then she stands up. And then she says, totally. And then like runs over to Todd squealing. And then like hugs him and like gives him a huge kiss. And then looks back over at you, Zaph, with like dagger eyes.
And Zaph is just like looking shocked of like, that actually worked?
Yeah, exactly. Todd also thinks that.
What? Okay. Cool. And so now that that's happened and I said I would like go to homecoming too, I'm just kind of like, okay, now I actually have to ask Cassie, I guess, but later in the week.
Sounds good. You probably like just glance at Cassie, like, you know, because that's what you're thinking about, and you can see that Cassie has a sad look on her face.
Oh.
Oh.
The only genuine person in this whole game.
Mm-hmm.
But Zaph doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Zaph thinks she's sad because she just hasn't been asked yet.
Do you want to gaze into the abyss?
Yeah, sure. Poor Cassie.
Oh. So
what
many
happens when you
fails.
fail the abyss?
Again, it's just like I get you don't do what you want to do, and a GM move happens.
The abyss stares back.
Well, yeah. One of the reactions I can take is herald the abyss. I mean, we could do the tried and true leap to the worst possible conclusion. I don't know what the worst possible conclusion would be in this situation, but
Yeah, that I'm like just not sure what that would even be.
let's see.
That Cassie's in love with Amy.
But like that also like that doesn't affect anything.
That does, I know, right? That doesn't affect anything.
Yeah, especially
right?
since like Zaph doesn't really seem to want to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are the other options?
Yeah, I'll read them off. Put them together, separate them, tell them the possible consequences and ask, inflict harm as established, enact drastic measures, turn their move back on them, leap to the worst possible conclusion, expose a dangerous secret to the wrong person, take a string on someone, herald the abyss, trigger their darkest self, and then after every reaction, ask, what do you do? But that's like not one of them. It's just
one
like,
of them.
what
One
you
of them you said sounded interesting. I don't remember which one it was.
Put them together, separate them, tell them the possible consequences, and ask, inflict harm, enact drastic
inflict
measures.
harm.
Well, that would be like legit, like you're
Like hurting them.
Going
it's
over
not
and
emotional.
punching her.
Not emotional
Yeah.
harm.
No.
there. You can't have emotional harm in this game.
Okay.
That's the conditions, right? That's what they are.
Okay. That's true. Accidentally reveal a secret is the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, the only thing I can thinking of is like maybe one of the other girls realizes what Cassie is actually thinking here, but I don't know if that's really. I don't know what that would actually accomplish.
I don't think I could think of as accidentally somehow revealing to Cassie that he's a vampire. But that doesn't make sense.
I think it.
You could always just make something up, Caleb.
I mean, right, but it usually has to fall within these lines, and I just don't. I can't think of anything outside of these lines anyway that would make sense.
I mean, it wasn't that dire of a role anyway, so maybe
it wasn't. I feel like something needs to happen though.
He falls madly in love with Zaf.
No.
She falls madly in love with the chicken tenders on her plate. She chokes on her chicken tenders.
Not her chicken tendies.
Maybe Zaf gets a condition.
Yeah. I don't know what it'd be though. Because this is like him gazing into the abyss, using his vampire powers to try to like read her emotionally. And that could go wrong, and give him a condition or something.
Oh, I can think of what the worst possible outcome would be.
Yeah,
he is very much suddenly. He's like, I want to drink her blood.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's what it is, Zaf. I think you just get turned on by Cassie for some reason, right? The hormones activate, and you're just like, wow, Cassie's actually pretty attractive.
I meant more craving as he wants to kill her.
I know, but like that's where the vampire. I mean, that's what you do as a vampire. Like that's how you view them. He can't separate those two things in his mind, right? Sex and feeding is like the same thing to him, sort of a thing, at this point.
Interesting. Okay.
Hey, Cassie, you want to go?
Hey, Cassie, do you want to go outside and talk real quick out back?
Exactly. Yeah, if you want to.
Honestly, I feel like I might do that.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, the one wholesome.
So this is and this is the thing. Like, obviously, I think Cassie isn't like interested in you per se. You know what? Roll to turn someone on. That's what you're doing.
Ooh, that Zaf. So hot right now.
Okay. They can either give you a string or choose one of the reactions. I give myself to you. I promise something I think you want, or I get embarrassed and act awkward. Let's see. They could choose this. Yeah, you know what I think it is? I think Cassie is feeling vulnerable right now, and even though she's not technically interested in you in the same way she's interested in Todd, she's like, whoa, this guy's giving me attention and affection? Like, okay. Like, yep. And so she's like, yeah, of course, Seth.
Hey, we go.
She's like flustered and like, oh, wow, okay.
Okay.
So this is the thing, though. I think we go to Gree and Iceland are having a conversation outside too. So they're gonna,
go to them. I feel bad
I'm like
right now.
Following Gree. I'm like chasing Gree out to like the bleachers or something like that.
Just
I'm like,
talk to me,
Gree.
Well, the thing is, like, you're a ghost, so you can just like probably pop in on him.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we're in the like people are probably like playing out in the football field, like
Fair.
Like, there's people around.
Can we take a break?
That's probably a fair
good
point.
idea.
Yeah. I wasn't really thinking about it. We were just like going from one scene to the next.
I was
but yeah, let's go ahead and
hoping
take a break.
before this scene we'd have a break.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be back with more Monster Hearts right after this.